What it do, homies? We are back with some more NF. This time we are checking out Music Washed Up, right, from the new album. We got a video here. Let's go ahead, shut up, turn it up. It's an interesting vocal sample. You know, in the previous, move my mic here real quick. In the previous Fear song, right, we're starting to hear like a whole lot of like Christian God kind of tones in here, which, you know, I suppose, you know, with struggle with faith, with everything that he's kind of been through, you know what I mean, with his grandmother passing and everything, you know, it kind of makes you, you know, start thinking about stuff and everything. So I'm thinking about that right now as I'm hearing these vocal samples, and you kind of hear where it does sound like it's taken from a choir that's sung. Right, not just any old kind of soul. It literally sounds like mass. You know what I mean? Like a gospel mass, if you will. And it's just chopped. That's interesting. I like that.
Yeah, I'm starting to wonder if I lost the hunger. Where's that kid I used to be when I was on the come up? Where's that drive I used to have before I had the numbers? Where's that take me as I am? I ain't gonna be no puppet.
You wanna know something, man? My NF journey is incomplete, if you will, right? But I have reacted to enough. I think I've reacted to about maybe 35 of the songs, you know, out of his whole discography. But I did take a step back and go towards some of the beginning, right? Back when he was like, you know, rapping, you know what I'm saying? Like he was out there making a name for himself, which got him the fan base that we see right now. So when he says that hunger part right there, where's the drive I used to have before I had the numbers, you can feel that, right? And I think that's the reason why he started calling it real music, because the numbers, while they were nice to have, NF had a story to tell, right? And every time I had heard one of his tracks, I felt like, all right, there's more to tell. Like the songs were being made with purpose, right? That he take that the everything else is kind of like a byproduct. You know what I mean? Now, luckily, thank the Lord that he's able to make a living off of it. Not everybody is able to, but for NF, it's always kind of been the story first. The only issues we can possibly kind of have with that is, you know, what happens when you're done telling your story? You know what I mean? There's been some rappers that like that. It kind of has so much to say, and that ain't got nothing else to say. One of my favorite, he's not a rapper, one of my favorite singers I used to listen to is called Life Jennings, right? Listen to him all the time. College, growing up, high school, he told his story. He ain't really got much to say. Now he just puts out music every now and then. That's that drive, you know what I mean? So I'm wondering if you know, I mean, I'm not saying wondering. Obviously, NF is saying that he's having that issue right now. Where's the drive he used to have? You know, sometimes things come along in life and just cut you down. You know what I mean? And you can't find your way back up.
I used to have before I had the numbers. Where's that take me as I am? I ain't gonna be no puppet. Where's that tell it like it is? Don't let the label hush it. Where's that yeah, I know I'm rich, but we gonna keep the budget? Where's that?
Remember what he said, right, in Fear. And I don't know the order of these songs and everything, but remember what he said in Fear, where he said, you know, when you tell the world something and then now, you know what I mean? Now it's like something else. You know what I mean? So yeah, that's tough.
Don't let the label hush it. Where's that yeah, I know I'm rich, but we gonna keep the budget? Where's that I don't really care about the radio? If they don't like the song, then don't play it. I ain't changing nothing. Yeah, where's that person at? You see him, tell him I've been hurting bad. You see him, tell him that I miss the way we used to rap. And I ain't making music anymore if he don't care enough to have my back. Yeah, dropping trash. Wouldn't say that I've been doing that, but I'll be lying through my teeth if I said I don't think my moment passed. Yeah, I think my moment passed.
I feel like every artist, and you don't even got to be a music artist and everything, but every artist kind of goes through this, right? Especially ones who experience commercial success, that nobody's going to be in that limelight forever, right? You're going to have the moments where you're going to pretty much not necessarily fall off, but move away from the spotlight. And it's demanding, you know, being up there in kind of like the high rise and have all these eyes kind of watch over you, because the minute that you do something that's completely normal, but as many as your stuff don't hit like millions and hundreds of thousands, you ain't drop selling all these albums on day one, they're gonna think that you kind of washed up and everything, right? But you got to understand that's more along the higher echelons or the higher tiers of stuff. That's like super fandom and stuff like that. Don't nobody do that consistently. I mean, maybe Michael Jackson, you know what I'm saying? You got your exceptions, obviously, those really, but you know what I mean? But by no means are you washed up. It's just like, say, your moments has passed. But if you get too attached to that, right, then you can feel as though there ain't nothing else you can do. You got caught up in the stardom. It's kind of similar to people who make music going hunting for a record label, right? That drive is what got you there. And now that you're there, if the comfort is too much, you find yourself coasting, and now you don't know what to do. That's why I like to react to a lot of independent artists, because I feel that hunger and something like that. And I've seen artists go like change their style when they went there. Now it's something like to a label. Now it's something completely different. Like, who are you? What happened to that drive? And me being a musician myself, you know, I'm not nowhere near famous or everything. You know, I play my sax when I can and everything. I ain't nowhere near famous and everything. I wouldn't necessarily say I have an ambition and everything. I kind of play just for my own enjoyment. But I know what it's like to have that drive. And when you lose it, man, it's especially when it's all consuming, you know what I mean? So that's relatable, bro. But this is NF we talking about, right? He says it's real music, it's relatable stuff, man. And one of the therapeutic ways of getting into this is to put it in your music. You know what I mean? So, you know, NF, your real fans have always been here. 100% always been here, bro. The only people you washed up to are the people who weren't even here for you to begin with. You know what I mean? That's just facts.
My teeth if I said I don't think my moment passed. Yeah, I think my moment passed. Am I on the brink of something great? Or have I lost it? Am I
Ooh, I like that.
on the verge of making waves? Or am I washed up?
I love that. Right? Am I this or am I that? Right? When all the lights and flashing lights are gone, do you still remain? Just how much of an impact did you make? We see that kind of tenacity, or we see what that looks like in some of the greats that have made music even today, right? What has made them last as long? Like, what has made those songs classic? Because at one point they reached a high, now they're not there anymore, right? What has led them there? Once you find that out, right, that's what NF is hinting here towards. Like, am I about to come across something great? Am I about to come across a legacy, something that's going to submit me in time? You know what I mean? Where I'm washed up. That going back and forth, that uncertainty, man. Honestly, to tell you the truth, I don't even know if it ever leaves you. To begin with, you just learn how to kind of deal with it, but I don't think it ever leaves you. Everything that you do, every foot that you take, might be some led with some doubt, you know, led with some uncertainty, right? What's important is that you just make it, but you get paralyzed by it, then you 100% will fail. You know what I mean? I ain't trying to like be in a teaching moment. It's kind of like one of them things where you do those crossroads, right? And it's tough to make that first step, especially when you got other things going around in your life, man. It's crazy.
The small rooms, the intimacy, no feeling like it. Those old shoes, nostalgic, I put my feet inside them. The Lord knew I needed this to survive the violence. The raw truth, I'm nothing without the Father's guidance.
Facts.
Who are you? The question that built this whole empire. Your old news, the statement that makes me think retire. The game's new, so eventually we all have to climb it. When wrong move and career is dying.
Facts. That's facts, bro. And people say that people love cancel culture. You know what I mean? People like preying on people's downfall. It's for some reason, it's just, that's, bro, look at that. Look at this body right here. Sorry. It's a serious matter, but that body right there in the air just kind of caught me off guard. But yeah, man, one road move. People they swift. You know, people love misery. You know, people love drama, and it makes them feel like they're part of something. So you do something wrong with everybody but going around it. You know, yeah, they about to start. Get you out of here. You real famous? Yeah, get you out of here, man. That's so scary. That's why they say the higher, the bigger you are, the harder you fall. And it's a big fall. But I feel like the gravity of the fall, like that harder part, is essentially how much you've grasped onto your height, right? Because if you kind of kept it cool, you know what I mean? Then yeah, you'll fall, but it wouldn't hurt you that much. You're just going back to what you was doing and everything. But yeah.
Whole empire, your old news, a statement that makes me think retire. The game's new, so eventually we all have to climb it. When wrong move and career is dying. Yeah, can I revive it? Did that check the label gave me make me uninspired? Am I ignorant to think that I still got the fire?
Yo, come on now, bro. See, did that check the label gave me make me feel uninspired? You know, one of the reasons why I feel like I personally and this could possibly just be an issue with society, but I feel like one of the reasons why it's very difficult for me to ever think about retiring is because even though you might not want to get up and go to work and it's late, you wish you could quit, the thought of progressing towards something, right? It ain't even got to be monumental. It ain't even got to be super important, but this just the thought of progressing towards something is just get you going. Generally, that towards something is to pay your bills so you aren't homeless. You know what I mean? You're progressing towards something. And maybe, you know, when you're making this music, everybody aspires to kind of get big. In your mind, you're like, wow, I would love to live off this. But when that money is finally in your hand, that's when you start realizing who you was making the music for, right? Was you making it for yourself? It could be both. Was you making it for yourself, making it for the fans? Was it all for the money, right? You really find out what kind of person you are once all that money is handed to you, right? You really about this? You just wanted the money. Come on now. You talking here.
Label gave me, make me uninspired. Am I ignorant to think that I still got the fire? Am I hanging on to something I should say goodbye to?
It's tough.
Yeah. Has my time expired? Did my prime already pass, or am I about to find it? Did my peak already happen, or am I still climbing? Is that passion that I had gone, or am I?
Come
On the brink of something great.
Come on.
Or have I lost it? Am I on the verge of making waves? Or am I washed up?
Burn the nation down. Yeah, man, some powerful stuff, man. I really like listening to music like this because it get me talking. You know, it's just feel like music that's made with purpose in this day and age where there's just a bunch of crap and repeat. You know what I mean? Like it ain't really no substance. And the crazy thing about it is that the same like I know some people that like knock NF and everything, but like would you rather have something that gets you conversating, that get you talking, right? It ain't always got to be about the most craziest of bars or the most hardest of beats, bro. What was the last time you heard some music that made you think? You know what I mean? But I think these days people are just kind of all about the vibes and whatnot. Well, you ain't got to worry about me. I do love the vibes and everything, but I love it even more whenever we listen to thought-provoking stuff, even if it's just the artist just sharing how they feel, right? Those really the type of stuff I like to listen to, right? Because it shows the human element in you. Oftentimes people hold celebrities up to a very, very high, you know what I mean? High stature, an idol, you know what I mean? You know, high praise and whatnot, and forget that they're humans just like us. So I love this type of music, right? This relatable type of thing. So anyways, let me know what y'all thought about this down in the comments. Dave's out.